Hey, I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. I thought I'd take a few minutes here and kind of run through what I'm doing right now on my uh, um, Revell Razor Crest, which is now going to be a hybrid. It's going to be a Razor Crest body and interior, but I'm going to be using the AMT engines because, well, I had mentioned before that I didn't really care for the AMT slash round two offering. And it's too bad, too, because I like round two's kits, but for some strange reason, this, which I chose a poor, or I made a poor choice of words when I first talked about it. I had said that the detail was soft, and people thought I was referring to the crispness of the molding, and that's not what I meant. What I was referring to was, and I should have used the word simple, the interpretation of the surface detail, the greabies and just any texture that was on the outside of the AMT model just seemed to be very simple, not to the level of the Revell, and definitely nowhere close to the Bandai's handling of surface detail. The ship itself also suffered from the fact that there was no interior except for the cockpit, and I don't really understand that. I mean, what were they thinking, that no one would want to be able to show that was just, I don't know, it was just, anyways. So I'm taking the best of both kits, which the majority is Revell. I think Revell just did a beautiful job, but I didn't think that I was going to have any success at all going really over the top on the engines, and that was true. I looked at the front blades. I don't know if they're compressor blades or what. They really don't talk about them in the show. When they did show them the one time, or focused on them the one time, they were just opening and closing and not spinning. Well, opening and closing for space travel, I could believe that, but if they're on the ground, why would they not be taking advantage of the atmosphere and using them like a regular jet engine if they're dual-purpose engines? Again, they don't go into that kind of detail, and I don't care. I just thought it might be fun to take and animate the blades, whatever we're going to call them, compressor or whatever. Can't really do it easily on Revell kit. And then I tried. I picked up let's see, a couple of these, which again wasn't really the best choice, but it was really the only thing that I could think about doing, which would be, if I remember right, it was all molded into this piece on the Revell kit, and I would have had to have hogged out a lot of material and then put something like this behind it, and it might have turned out okay, but fortunately I got slowed down with something else that came into interest. My infatuation with vacuum tube portable AM radios, and I stumbled across a whole bunch of, Japanese portables, which were really small, and so that kind of kept me occupied until the AMT kit came out. And when I looked at the way AMT did their engines, it was just really a no-brainer. I was going to take these engines and going to incorporate them on the Revell kit, and by doing so, I was able to do quite a bit. I've animated the front blades. I'll show that in a second. Also, back here, the outer rim of the exhaust was opened up, where on the Revell it wasn't. Didn't quite understand that. Revell, they chose their own bonehead decision, not making the model easy to illuminate, which just about everybody does anymore, and we were faced with having to hog out all of this and this if you chose to, and like a fool, I didn't, and always regretted that. So that was another thing that made me lean towards the AMT models. So I am using the Revell thrust vector or thrust directors, thrust vanes. I'm not sure what these are called, but I had already hogged out this on the Revell, which on the AMT just didn't look that easy to do. And sure enough, because they are the same scale, it fits on there perfectly. So I lucked out on that. I'm holding these together with rubber bands because I've got to set them aside. I wanted to get this done so I could work on another project, like I don't have enough, and wait until the weather got nice enough for me to paint. Of course, today's gorgeous, nice and sunny, a little on the cool side. I think it's only about 45 degrees, but still not bad for the second week in February. Anyhow, did a lot of modding here to allow for the animation of the front. I'll open up one of these engines, but let me first start this guy up here. Let's see, we'll do the lighting first. And now the engines. There we go. There we go. Now let's see. What I've done is like I did on the Revell. I've got the marker LED on there, and I've got strobe on both engines. Is that showing up? Yeah, there we go. And the engine's rotation, which let's see if I can fit this on here, which actually kind of shows really nice. It doesn't on video, but I'll do, let's see if I can do a close-up here. There we go. Oops. Oops, 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 sorry. Stop. I'm not getting this thing lined up right. Oh, there we go. You got to be really careful where you get this, otherwise, okay, and you can't see in there. But trust me, you do see enough when it's on there. Now I can vary the speed. Where'd my screwdriver go? And direction, but I really don't want to. There we go. Goes much faster, or I can stop it and actually reverse it if I wanted to. But I find that this is a good speed for when it's just kind of sitting on the ground, parked. Right now, you're probably getting a conflicting effect between the capture rate of the camera and compression and the whatever the flicker rate of my LEDs are. But trust me, in real life, it looks really good. And as far as the engines are concerned, I did the same NeoPixel here, and I have 4 different colors that I can pick from. This is a red, kind of a deep orange, a more pinkish white, and then of course blue. But you can also see in the background I've got LEDs doing a flicker flame, and I was able to combine both the NeoPixel sketch and the flicker flame sketch into one, so that reduced the number of microcontrollers. I've got one for the stepper motor, obviously, And I'm not sure why the sketches conflict. I think probably because on this there's a potentiometer which brings in a conflict as far as the pulse width modulation output, being that it's variable on this sketch, fixed on this sketch, and they don't seem to like to play well together. So I'm just going to be easy and let one run the stepper motors and one handle the NeoPixel main engine and the flicker flame exterior ring. And then as far as the nav and strobe, I made up this discrete board here. Oh God, geez, must have been 8 years ago, 9 years ago, in my attempt to help somebody who was really having a problem with the Enterprise refit. He couldn't figure out how to get a simple 555 circuit to work to achieve either one or the other. And so trying to explain, and this was over at Hobby Talk, I found it was just better for me to just build the circuit, and that way there I could actually show him that the schematic did work. And I used a 556, which is a dual timer in a single chip, to again clean up the board a bit. And so I made up a bunch of these, so it just seems silly not to use them. So I've got them on both engines, and we'll deal with that. It worked out pretty good. So here, let's see if we can open this guy up here. There we are. Ooh, oh, gotta watch out. Okay, so there we are. The stepper motor's up here. There's my flicker flame. There's 4 amber LEDs that I use there. And then down in the tunnel are the NeoPixels. And then obviously on the outside are my strobe and nav lights. So I hope this video made some sense, and I hope it was of interest to somebody. Now I can set this aside and get to work on what I was planning on working on over the winter break, which is the remaining 5 comm locks that I want to do, and then I'll have burned through all the spy gear electronics for those, and I can no longer worry about doing any more of those. Anyways, hope you all have a great day. I'm going to stop this. Got a big game to go out and watch after I get done posting this video. And yeah, I hope some of you others do the animation. It was really quite simple and straightforward. There's considerable cutting, but it's not impossible. Obviously not if I did it, but it's not that difficult. Just got to be patient with doing the animation for the engine. So you all have a great day, and if the weather's nice for you, go out there and enjoy it before the big game starts, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.